No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome.
In 2007, French directors Alexandre Bustello and Julien Maury unleashed the egregiously violent home invasion film Inside. Let's be real, these kind of flicks I don't normally gravitate towards, but something about this film really drew me in. Fair warning though, this film is not for everyone, especially if you're a parent. Now with that being said, let's go. Inside stars Alison Paredes as Sarah, a young soon-to-be mother who loses her husband in a fatal car accident. Beatrice Daly plays the mysterious woman, La Femme, who stalks Sarah and her unborn child. Beatrice is perfect in this role. 4 months after losing her husband, Sarah is ready to give birth. Let me say, the opening to this film is so surreal. The shocking aftermath of the accident is so hard to take in. It's a really depressing way to start the film. There's this shot of this baby inside of a womb right as the collision occurs. For fuck's sake, man. This shit just started. Early in the film, we are introduced to Sarah's mother and her editor-in-chief, Jean-Pierre. Sarah is a photographer, and right from the jump, we see that she's empty inside. Sarah photographs this young family playing in the park, and the whole time you can tell she's reminiscing of what her family life would have been like with her husband. Already off to a sad start. Jean-Pierre, he's cool. He's tasked to go pick up Sarah and bring her to the hospital the next morning. What a guy. Later that evening, Sarah is having this disgusting nightmare before being interrupted by someone at her door. The stranger claims is having car trouble and also a dead cell phone battery. Sarah like, nope, This mysterious person at the door calls Sarah by name and even brings up her dead husband. Your husband's not sleeping, Sarah. Your husband's dead. Damn, son. Sarah is horrified and threatens to call the police.
The police.
Smart. A mysterious figure then shows up at Sarah's window. She proceeds to light a cigarette. So now we get this subtle look of who's watching Sarah from the outside. Moments later, the woman punches the window, shattering it in the process. Sarah calls the police and the woman disappears for the night. La Femme, a dark, brooding character whose motives at this point aren't really clear, and that shit is scary. Sarah now attempts to get some sleep. Now here is where the movie truly begins. As Sarah sleeps, La Femme hovers over her resting body. A big ass pair of scissors later, and La Femme begins to scrape the sharp shears directly across Sarah's belly. The sound design here is like scratching a chalkboard as the scissors presses against Sarah's womb. Just seeing the womb and the blood just splurt out, it was so hard to watch. The blood starts to fly as La Femme slashes Sarah's mouth open. That wound is gnarly. I mean, really, it looks real as fuck. The two begin throwing hands until Sarah locks herself in the bathroom. At this point, there is something clearly wrong with La Femme. Whenever she's in a point of stress, she lights up stogie. This is a character, from what little we know of her, clearly has some underlying issues. For starters, why does she want Sarah's baby so bad? Honestly, the vagueness is what really elevates her character so much. It really makes you want to understand what's driving this woman. Inside of the bathroom, Sarah ain't doing too hot. She's been stabbed, sliced, physically assaulted, all while carrying a child. Here, Sarah begins to urinate all over the floor. I felt so bad for her. This is when things get really interesting. Jean-Pierre arrives a little early and La Femme takes on the role of Sarah's mother. I guess Jean-Pierre never really met Sarah's mom, and I mean, she is his employee. I guess it's possible. After discovering the photo that Sarah had taken of La Femme back in the earlier encounter, Jean-Pierre gets a bit suspicious. However, it's too late because Sarah's real mom shows up and all hell breaks loose. La Femme is outed, but not before Sarah's mom races to her daughter upstairs only to get punctured in the neck with a sharp rod. This is heartbreaking as Sarah just killed her own mother. She had to watch her die slowly as she bled out right in front of her. Next, Jean-Pierre is taken out in such a pervasive act of violence. Nothing can stop La Femme. But wait, my boy Jean-Pierre is alive, only to just get killed again. Motherfucker can't catch a break. Another cigarette later and more cops shoot out the door.
Jim Rex? What's Jim Rex? Would you believe a movie audience guide presented as a public service by this theater's management to help you select your motion picture entertainment? Well, that's what it is. And we urge you to learn these rating symbols and use them as a guide.
La Femme goes to handle this set of dweebs, but not before jamming those big-ass scissors into Sarah's hand as she was trying to escape. This is some of the best violence you'll ever see in a horror film. I'm telling you, this film keeps shoehorning people into the story just for a high body count. Oh, I love it. The police arrive at Sarah's door, but of course La Femme answers. A little conversation later and the police are on their way. The plan almost worked until one of the officers realized that the woman they were talking to wasn't pregnant. In turn, meaning she ain't Sarah. I like that, it's pretty cool. It makes the police a little smart, at least in this film. The cops subdue La Femme and they find Sarah upstairs with the scissors still impaling her hand into the wall. La Femme now reveals a long hidden blade from her wardrobe and stabs the officer right in the eye with it. She then viciously finishes him off with the same blade. Up on the second floor, the police officer finally gets Sarah to open the door, only for Sarah to receive the worst facial of her life. Now the third cop, who was waiting outside, races into the house, taking a handcuffed civilian with him. I mean, like, what the fuck? Who does that? A couple scenes later, the handcuffed guy has a gun. By this point, blood is everywhere and it's really disturbing. Sarah's face is as red as the devil's dick. It's just really disgusting and hard to watch. La Femme, she cut the lights, leaving the two cops to go scurry off while leaving Sarah all alone again. Funny thing is, this new cop, I thought he was gonna be the hero of the day. Nope, he gets shot in the head and the poor bastard he had handcuffed the whole time, he gets that large pair of scissors right through his head. La Femme is fucking Michael Myers at this point. Upon rewatch for this episode, I forgot just how much violence there is in this film. It's just not stabbing and gunfire. The physical abuse Sarah takes in this movie can be extremely uncomfortable. La Femme had to fight one until she decided she needed yet another cigarette. Sarah lights up a can of aerosol and La Femme's face is burned to a crisp. It really is a holy shit moment.
Be a hero to yourself. Don't smoke.
La Femme, she pretty much looks like the Night Flyer now. La Femme is in extreme agony as she scurries off into a corner like a wounded animal. Meanwhile, Sarah can't breathe, so she takes this long stick and jabs it into her neck, straight into her windpipe, causing perforation. A procedure performed to alleviate an obstruction in breathing.
Clever girl.
The blood squirting from her neck really made me squirm a bit. Great effect. Sarah now doesn't give a fuck and she's pissed. Sarah finds La Femme rolled up in a little ball in a corner in her closet, defeated and horribly disfigured now. This is where we find out just who she is and why she wants Sarah's baby so much. You see, the baby in the beginning, that wasn't Sarah's, that was La Femme's. It was La Femme's child who had been killed in the same brutal accident that took Sarah's husband's life. Everything is connected now. Now, in the film's most bizarre and holy shit, what the fuck moment, the dead officer randomly wakes up as if he was a deadite from the Evil Dead franchise. What? I mean, the movie was really grounded up until this point, and it doesn't make any sense for this guy to be walking around with a fucking hole in his head. I mean, homeboy was acting as if he was infected by the T-virus. Again, I'm pretty sure this son of a bitch has a large hole in his head. Now this guy, he starts to pound on Sarah. The blows that Sarah endures here can be very traumatizing. The blood splatter from between Sarah's legs just adds to the cruelty of this film. La Femme kills the cop again and Sarah tries to escape, but before that she collapses on the staircase. This upcoming scene can be a bit much, so fair warning. La Femme finally has Sarah where she wants and ultimately cuts into her belly and removes the child. The blood just runs down the stairs at an alarming rate. To be honest, as sad as that scene is, I couldn't turn away. Sarah sadly passes away and the film closes with La Femme sitting in the rocking chair. Turn up the volume here because the music is wonderful. La Femme seems at peace now, but at what cost? What a fucking ending. What we had just witnessed was two women who both lost something and are coping with their grief in very different ways. La Femme blamed Sarah for her child's death and wanted to take what was rightfully hers in her own deranged mind. Life can be cruel sometimes, but how we deal with the pain is what sets us apart from the real animals. Thank you for coming again to the Horror Fiend Drive-In Theater. Please leave a like on the way out and come back next time for the last episode of Horror Fiend Drive-In Theater this season. Thank you for watching and have a great day, everyone. Stay scared.